Hello everybody, peace. So today I'm going to be talking about a form of self-harm that nobody talks about.
From beautiful seas to flourishing legacies.
So I had a recent interaction with someone, and this person was extremely talented. She was very, very good at what she does, and I was just amazed by working with her and her talent as well. And I reached out to her for a more kind of involved position in the organization that I'm a part of, right? And what happened was there was this complete kind of like avoidance. And in fact, she said something to me that I had to end up doing, which caused her more harm, which was unfortunate because it was a part that if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have been able to move on with the project. And anyway, it was a very complicated situation. But the point is, it's like she wanted me to do something that would hurt her, right? I know it's very vague. I don't want to go into too many details, but I want you to imagine a situation in your life where you put yourself in a position that you know is going to hurt you. And then when you get hurt, it's like a confirmation that, yes, I was right. And then the pain is almost like a release of some sort, right? You're hurting yourself. Now that is a form of self-harm. Now on a more relationship level, when we are around certain people who are not good for us and they are very toxic, right? I know that's a buzzword, but they are people who are draining our energy in a way that we are overthinking about them. We are always uncomfortable. We are very dysregulated. We are very disorientated. And these people are just very not good for us, right? And we remain in these relationships because we are familiar with them, right? You know, the whole conversation about I'd rather choose a familiar situation that is painful than an unfamiliar one that is possibly helpful, right? We choose knowing over not knowing, familiarity over hope even sometimes. And that is what it comes to when it comes to these situations. So a lot of the time when we haven't done the work and we are unaware of our patterns of behavior, we will be around people who are not good for us. And these people, they will continue to harm us. And we will keep coming into these situations, marriage after marriage, friend after friend, relative after relative. And it's like a repeat. And there is a subconscious reason we do this because we hope deep down that the result will be different. But when it isn't different, it's a form that we keep hurting ourselves. And a lot of the time when we are in something called a flashback, which is a kind of reaction to a physical, emotional reaction to a thing which reminded you of something that happened to you, it's a physiological thing. You become dysregulated, right? You will notice that you'll fall into these self-harming behaviors of doing things and being around people who are not good for you, right? When we talk about self-harm, we often think it's something physical. We think it's something to do with us doing something that is obviously hurting us, right? Scratching us, I don't know. You can think of something, pulling your hair, that kind of thing. But the kind of self-harm which is rarely spoken about and which is so impactful on us on a visceral level, where our body reacts to this situation after years of neglect from it, are those people who we surround ourselves with, who are surrounding us, who are harming us, who are keeping us, or we are allowing them to keep us in a form of behavior that is hurting us, right? And a lot of the time we don't see it as self-harm, we just see it as life. We just see it as relationships. It is what it is, and that's a kind of acceptance. But there's a difference between acceptance and submission in a way that takes away your power as well. Acceptance is accepting the truth, and submission is foregoing a kind of truth so you can have a kind of peace. It isn't always that. By the way, I wrote a whole chapter on surrender in my book, The Woke Writer. It's about letting go, and you can have that whole chapter for free if you just download it underneath this video. But there are so many nuances. There are so many situations which are not so clear for us sometimes, and we fall into these patterns where we are hurting ourselves. So I really hope that next time we are in a situation and we've been around someone or have done something which has hurt us, and it's like a constant pattern that we are used to, I hope we can become more conscious of it, because that consciousness is going to change the way we react to it. Because when something comes into our consciousness and we become aware of our behaviors, knowing they are hurting us, then we can begin the step towards choosing a different behavior, which is extremely difficult, but it is impossible if we are not aware of that behavior. So anyway, thank you so much for being here with me today. I have a free downloadable, as I mentioned, from my book, The Woke Writer, and I also have an inspiration package in case you want to create your own legacy. Yes, and it is a 14-lesson course. It is free. All the details are under this video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everyone. Peace.